Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Shadow Lairon in the Evolution Cup. This Pokemon is actually kind of funny because it's going to be able to beat most of the Dragon type Pokemon, something like a Piloswine, like a lot of targets in the current meta. And first battle here, you see something different. It is not the fast move of Metal Claw that we're going to play here. We're supposed to play Metal Claw, but I just forgot to change the moveset on this Pokemon. I still had Iron Tail from a video that I did early on, like a season ago or something. And so yeah, this matchup is a little bit different now. Iron Tail does, I think, a little bit more damage in total, but also with the recent bug where you are not going to be able to get damage through basically when you sneak a move through, which you see here the entire time. It is a little bit awkward, but we can still go for the full farm down against the opponent, have a ton of energy, and we can swap out now into my own golbat if we even have to swap out, because it's going to be a Dusclops. Yes, we can swap out here, and we're going to be able to go ahead and go for a Shadow Ball against the opponent's Piloswine. With this, we're gonna get the opponent insanely low, but again, like, honestly, Lairon is really underrated. This Pokemon is like ranked 50 or something on PvPoke, and it honestly has like so much play building against all those Dragon type Pokemon, all those Ice type Pokemon in this meta, and also against something like the Golbat, which is really cool. We can go for a Rock Slide, going to be able to connect here, gonna get the shield from the opponent, and another Rock Slide is coming through immediately afterwards, doing a ton of damage, and with this, we're going to be able to just get some damage onto them. They're gonna go for a charge move. It's going to be their return to knock me out, and so I can go into my hakamo-o. I can still easily survive an Ice Punch if they would even get to it, but they don't, and so we can get the easy knockout. What I have to say as well is that with my next teams that are coming up as well on my channel, all of them worked insanely well for me. I climbed up over 300 points already in this cup in like less than 10 sets, so definitely really good teams coming up on my channel. So if you don't want to miss them, feel free to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Would really appreciate it, would really help me out. But there are a lot of really good teams coming up, so if you're not hit Legend yet, there is a lot to come. And yeah, some toxic teams, some less toxic teams, some more meta lines. You're going to see it as well. It's going to be kind of nice. Like, so many, like literally every team that I played so far for this cup, and I played already like 4 or 5 or something, all of them worked amazingly. I climbed with all of them, this one included here as well. Golbat was honestly one of my favorite Pokemon in this cup. Like, Golbat in 2 shields is just insane. Like, honestly, the damage output of Wing Attack, Shadow Wing Attack, basically, plus the extra damage from the Poison Fang is just mad. We can go for a Shadow Ball against the opponent here, which is going to be kind of nice as well. Going to be able to connect and get the shield here from the opponent, which is cool. But Golbat going to be a little bit of a trickier one to play against. I just go straight for my charge move here. This is going to do some decent damage, but I kinda am forced to let this next move go through. It is going to be the opponent's Poison Fang, which we can still survive, and I should most likely swap out, but never mind. Lairon going to double resist the fast move from the opponent and still get to a charge move to knock them out. And now it's just the Arctibex against the hakamo-o, and this is going to be a KO. Moving on, let's move on to the next opponent. We're going to have a Charjabug in the lead. This matchup is a little bit better for you, I think, if you're non-Shadow with your Lairon. You don't even have to be Shadow with your Lairon. Non-Shadow is going to be able to take those moves a little bit easier. As you can see here, Discharge is hurting quite a bit, but we can go for the bait move here with the bodies there. This is going to be okay for us. We're going to get the shield from the opponent, and now we can just try to get to our next move, and it's going to work out for us. It's going to be the Rock Slide against the opponent, and with this, we're going to be able to get shield and switch advantage with our Lairon against the opponent. What a day. That was amazing. The opponent goes straight for a Poison Fang here, so I don't even have to shield this move up, which is amazing. Why do I shield this move up? This is completely silly by me. Honestly, like, it was so obvious, just a Poison Fang, man. That is kind of embarrassing from me, and also now great that I was able to go for the bait that the opponent didn't shield. Literally completely mindless from both of us. What I have to say though is, here I actually go for the Brick Break, which is the correct play. There might be some gameplay in there, like it's randomized, I don't know which order it is, where I go for Dragon Claw against the Vigoroth. I thought for basically my entire life that Brick Break would be worse, even if it's super effective against Pokemon, and just like basically decent when Dragon Claw is resisted and this move is super effective. But this is not the case. I thought it was like the same with like Tropius and Leaf Bite and Aerial Ace, but now always when like Brick Break is super effective, go for it. It is always going to be better for you. Like, it's going to do more damage, but I didn't know this at like most of those battles here, so For the future, I definitely know at least that hakamo-o should go for the Brick Break against the normal type Pokemon, because Brick Break is a horrific move. Like, this move is really, really bad usually. So I'm always kind of surprised when this move is actually better than whatever else you can go for, but super effectiveness actually changes a little bit with it. Basically, I think Brick Break is 35 energy, 35 damage, while Dragon Claw is 50 damage for 35 energy. And you see already how much better Dragon Claw is, and Dragon Claw is not even a great move either. And yeah, Brick Break is just really horrific, but it's still going to be better in matchups against like something like a Vigoroth or something like this, where you definitely rather want to still go for the Brick Break over the Dragon Claw. Just for you to know as well, if you want to play hakamo-o, this would be something that you have to keep in mind. Hakamo-o plus Lairon is actually a great combination. If you don't have a hakamo-o, maybe if you have a Weeping Bell or if you have a Gloom, this would also work out pretty well. But in the current meta, I definitely have to say that I feel like Dragon-type damage is a little bit better than Grass-type damage. There are a lot of other Dragon-type Pokemon around. So here, for example, we're going to have a little bit more damage output anyway with our hakamo-o. We're gonna take the Ice Punch, and we can still go for our own Dragon Claw, which hopefully gonna get them into farm down range. Let's take a look at this one. Is it going to be enough? It is going to be enough, and with this game is over. The Dragonair is not going to survive another charge move here, and the Dragon Claw is going to take the knockout, and we can win yet another game with this team. Next opponent, we're going to have a horrific lead force, and I decided to swap out down to the hakamo-o. Hakamo-o is a decent save-swap, and here, for example, you're going to see me go for the Dragon Claw. This is exactly the one thing where I was saying before as well. You should go for the Brick Break here. I only noticed afterwards the opponent uses a shield anyway, but I should have went for the Brick Break in the first place already. Yeah, tried to go for the Brick Break then, but the opponent goes for a charge move anyway, so like it didn't matter in this scenario directly. Could have used a shield and would have got another shield from the opponent, but Brick Break is the better move to go for. Also, for my future self, that's kind of what you want to go for. I actually wonder, what is the third move that this Pokemon can learn? Because I don't even know if there is a different move that hakamo-o can learn, but let me check real quick on my own Pokemon here, because I wonder if there's going to be something better that also would be able to learn. Would be really cool if this Pokemon gets like a new charge move as well. If you're gonna get rid of Brick Break, you still have Dragon Pulse that this Pokemon can learn, which is a pretty bad move as well, so like I would not really go for that. Brick Break is definitely gonna give you better coverage then. Here we're gonna see the opponent's Arctibax, which is going to be our K-Force. You can just go ahead and go for a lot of damage onto them, get the double debuff onto their defense. They're gonna go for the Icy one, but we still have our Lairon farming them down, and now we have a ton of energy. And yes, they're going to have the Primary still, which we had in the lead basically against us, but it does not really matter because our Lairon is just stronger than this, double super effective against us, but it does not matter, so we can easily win this game. Next opponent, Piloswine lead. Great lead force again. Like, honestly, Lairon hits so many of the meta threats right now. It is completely wild how strong this Pokemon can be. Here we're gonna see that they're gonna go into the Dusclops. You could decide to go into something like a Golbat against the opponent, but I decided not to, and now I decided to go into my hakamo-o, which is going to get a move off. I decided to use a shield here, thinking that might be a Poltergeist, and Poltergeist is chunking a lot. Like, Poltergeist is such a great nuke for Dusclops. It is wild how much damage this move can do, but the opponent went for an Ice Punch, which is better for them. We can still, like, we would have been able to take another Ice Punch anyway, but the opponent stops out now into the Piloswine. I should go again for the Brick Break, which I actually do this time around, so this might be after I looked it up. Brick Break is always definitely going to be the better play to go for in this scenario. The opponent still can farm me down, but they decide to swap out into their own Golbat, allowing me to go into my Lairon, which I don't know if this was the correct choice. I decided to just keep the energy and swap out into my own Golbat, trying to catch a move here. It's going to be just the Poison Fang, which is going to be really good for me, because now I can try to go for my own Poison Fang, but sadly I lose the CMP tie. And this actually going to matter quite a bit. If I would have been able to win the CMP time, I would have put them into range where Body Slam would have easily knocked them out, like for sure. And then I would have had a ton of energy still, and the opponent would have not needed another Body Slam to knock them out, which would have been way, way better for me. But I guess I also could have maybe tried to go for the Rock Slide then instead. But I feel like this was my only play to try to go for the Body Slam and see if this would be enough. He actually was calling that they're gonna go for the Avalanche, but is this enough to actually win this game? It's going to be insanely close. Can Lairon still clutch it out? And Lairon can. Honestly, Lairon was so good for me. It is a little bit tricky against the lead of the Dragonair with this Pokemon, because they of course have the move Awkward here. So you have two choices. You can stay in and you're just gonna try to mirror that, because you're gonna be able to get to the Body Slam at the same pace. Here the opponent of course gives us the option to just go into a hakamo-o. Again, you should go for the Brick Break. This is me being silly. This is me not knowing that Brick Break is actually better because I thought Brick Break was such a bad move. And honestly, if I went for Brick Break, I would have put them easily into farm down range right now, which is really sad because I could have just used the shield now and would have realigned, which would have been way better for me. But like this, yeah, I would have not been able to do that, and that's kind of annoying. But yeah, definitely, it is what it is. We can just move on with that. Brick Break is the better one to go for. But yeah, you can basically stay in against the opponent, or you can try to catch the awkward tail on your golbat against the Dragonair lead. That's kind of what I wanted to say there. We will see the Poison Fang coming through against the opponent, doing a ton of damage, but also getting the defense drop. But I feel like this was a CMP tie, which would have been a little bit silly for us as well. I don't think this is looking really good. It's actually not a CMP tie, so I still have a chance. And honestly, this was one of the craziest games ever, I feel like, because I can go for one Poison Fang, gonna get some damage onto them, gonna go for one Poison Fang, going to be able to get the shield off them, as well as a double debuff. I can swap out, I can go ahead and go for a Body Slam now. This is going to be able to get the shield, and you see already what is coming next. One more fast move, and another Body Slam is coming through. So 4 charge moves back to back to back to back, and this is going to knock them out. What a game. Literally, like, what was that? That was absolutely insane. 4 charge moves back to back to back is something that you rarely really see in your Battle League. But yeah, you're going to have the lead again against the opponent's Dragonair. What I usually would do, to be fair, like if I would play this matchup out, I would go for the first charge move immediately and try to CMP tie. And then I'm going to try to see what the opponent going to do here. They're going to swap out into the Vigoroth, where he should go for the Brick Break. I'm most likely not going to do it, to be fair. I see myself already there. But what I would do in your case would be just trying to move up. Actually, go for the Brick Break. I'm so smart here. I would go ahead and try to catch the next awkward tail, which you're gonna get at the same time as you're gonna get to the Body Slam again. Go to try to catch this one on the golbat, so stay in for the first one and then try to catch the next one would be my play, at least against this kind of scenario there. The opponent is gonna be able to go for another charge move. This is like the thing that I also kind of want to research afterwards. I had a lot of times that opponents' golbats were able to win CMP tie against Vigoroth, but my was usually not the case to win the CMP tie, so I didn't go for it here. But I don't know what is really important for this kind of scenario, but here we're going to be able to get the knockout against the opponent. Here I make a mistake. I make a huge mistake, honestly. I decided to go for the Poison Fang, which is okay. Like, I could have, of course, went for the Shadow Ball and might have been better. But I should have stayed in and went for another Poison Fang, because this would have allowed me to get a double debuff onto their defense, and I feel like that my Metal Claw would have been so much better then. But of course, at the same time, the opponent would have got a little bit more energy with that, and so it would have been even a little bit worse for me. But here, as you're gonna see, sadly this is going to be a loss. I feel like this game could have been a win if we just played a little bit better there, but it is what it is. Good game to the opponent. I think if I went straight for the Poison Fang again, I would have been fine there, but it is what it is. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to have another Dragonair in the lead. Like, honestly, Dragonair seems to be the most common lead right now, so maybe a Fairy type lead would be something for you. But here I decided to swap out into the golbat to go for the Poison Fang next. The cool thing about golbat against Dragonair, if you swap out basically onto the first awkward tail, is that you're going to outspeed them to the next charge move, because you only need 5 fast moves for the Poison Fang, which equals 10 turns, and the opponent needs 12 turns to get to their awkward tail, so that's always kind of great. Here the opponent's still gonna actually call my bait, which is really annoying for me. If I went for the Shadow Ball, I could have realigned, which would have been nice, but I can still go ahead and go into my Lairon, overfarm up to 2 Body Slams, go for my own Body Slam. Gonna get the knockout here for sure, unless I want to use a shield, which they don't, and so we're still in a decent spot. I definitely take this kind of spot we are in. Let's see what they're gonna go into. They're gonna go into a Vigoroth. No, I don't take this spot anymore. This is going to be a very tough battle to still win. Let's see, we still have a chance here. Maybe can put them into range where just a Rock Slide would be enough to knock them. That would be kind of cool, but let's see what we can do here. We're gonna get the Brick Break onto them. They're gonna swap out into the Dragonair, and what I decide to do here is I decide to use a shield and just farm them down. Why that? Because I know that I will get off 2 Brick Breaks now, which is going to be important for us, because it's not going to get the knockout, but it's going to get them insanely low. And that charge moves that they're going to basically store up now does not matter against Lairon. Lairon just cares about the fast move damage of them, which is double super effective, but Lairon doesn't care about the charge move damage, which is resisted, or like double resisted, and so we can easily win this game and we can move on to the final one. A final one for today. We're going to have a horrific lead again of the Vigoroth. We swap out into our golbat, which is our safe swap. And if they go straight for the Body Slam, that's amazing for you, because you can just let this move go through. And we see here that they're going to go into their golbat, and I decided to go for the Poison Fang bait. Let's see if they're going to fall for it or not. Let's find out together. They do fall for it, and they actually went for their own Poison Fang. And with this, I can let this move go through. I have the shield advantage, but not only this, I can still reach a Shadow Ball. And this is going to be amazing, because it's going to allow us to even real line? Not, sadly not. Just barely missing out on the realignment, but I can now swap out at least into my hakamo-o and they're swapped back into their Vigoroth, and they're still stuck in this matchup for a little bit. So I can use a shield, I can get a ton of energy, and I also can try to go for a charge move to kinda, yeah, slowly whittle down the switch clock here. It's still going to be a tough match to win, but let's see if we can still do something here. It's a really tough matchup. They're going to have Ice Punch. I'm forced to let this move go through. My only hope here is that I get a ton of energy on my hakamo-o maybe, and then still try to win with the Lairon. I see right now that this charge move is not going to be enough to get me back into my Lairon, so I'm forced to go for my own charge move, which I kind of wanted to avoid. But let's see what we can still try to do here. We can actually get the shield, which is going to be important, because now I can get a ton of energy, but I don't think that this is going to be enough to do anything here. The Poltergeist coming through, it's going to get a ton of damage onto me. I can still get to the Rock Slide though, against the swapping in Vigoroth. Is this still enough? We can get the move off, and we can still even reach the Dragon Claw, and with this, we can win this final game. This team was absolutely amazing. I would really recommend you to try this one out. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and check out maybe also my Primeape showcase, which is going to be on the screen. So I see you then. Bye bye.